So hello, this is my Teaching Tuesday. We're going to be covering how to do some basic software data recovery using a piece of software called Hiren's bootcd PE. Hiren's bootcd PE is a modified version of Windows 10 that comes pre-installed with many useful data recovery pieces of software. So your first step you're going to want to do is you're going to navigate on Chrome or Edge or whatever to hirensbootcd.org. Also, I should mention that this will work on Windows computers only. If you have a Mac, that is a completely separate process and this will not work. Anyways, navigate to hirensbootcd.org. I'm already open. It should look like this. At the very top, this top bar, there is a download. You can click on that, and this is all of the software that comes pre-installed. You don't really need to worry about that, but if anyone's interested, we're going to mainly be using these pieces of software right here. So there's no obvious download link. You got to click right here. It says file name. You click on hbcd_pe_x64.iso. Click on this. I already have it installed, but it will start an install and it'll show up probably right here if you're using Chrome. So the next thing you're going to need is another piece of software called Rufus. The website for this is rufus.ie. And Rufus is a piece of software that allows you to turn any flash drive into a flash drive that you can boot an operating system off of. So the way we're going to be using Rufus in this is we're going to take our install of Hiren's bootcd and we're going to put it onto, for this I'm using a 32 gigabyte flash drive. I would recommend having that one at least that big, but no smaller than 8 for sure. And we're going to be able to boot off this USB drive. So to download Rufus, it's called Rufus 3.17 under the download tab, just when you scroll down on the page. And you want to click on that. It'll open up this, save it wherever. I'm going to save it to my desktop just for ease of use. I already have it installed though, as you can see right there, so I'm not going to install it again. So once that's done, you're going to want to, before you open Rufus, you're going to want to plug in your flash drive. You'll make a chime and it'll open up. It should open up to this. If not, you can open up your files, which is right there for me, File Explorer. And then on the side, it should be called, USB drive, SanDisk, line to that effect. Next, you're going to want to right click. You're going to want to highlight your USB drive. Right click it. And then it should be under in this kind of tab here. I have some other stuff installed, so yours will not look like this in all likelihood. But in the right click menu, there will be a thing called Format. You want to hit Format. It'll open up a dialog prompt like this. Don't touch any of these options here, so you can click on them and change them, but you don't want to do that. You're just going to want to make sure that the quick format is clicked, and then hit start. And I should mention before you do this that you should not be using a flash drive with anything valuable or anything you need on it, because once you format it, all of the data on it will be erased. So you're want to hit start. Warning, formatting will erase all data, so please be aware of that. Hit OK. It'll take, it didn't take very long for mine because I don't have anything on it, but it'll take, a second probably. So you're going to want to navigate to wherever you installed Rufus. Open it. It'll say Rufus, yada yada yada. It's going to want admin privileges. Just hit yes. It'll open up a dialog prompt that looks something similar to this. Rufus should automatically detect your flash drive, but if not, under the device tab, you can hit, this little prompt and select whatever drive you want to use, whatever USB drive you're going to want to use. The next step you're going to want to do is under the boot selection menu, you're going to want to hit select. You're going to want to find where you installed Hiren's boot CD. Hit open. And under your boot selection now, it should say, HBCD underscore P underscore x64.iso. All of these other settings you do not need to mess with. It will be done for you. And once you're ready to go, you can just hit start, and then it'll tell you it's formatted again. I usually just let it, you can either do it this way or you can do it the other prompt. It doesn't really matter. So click OK. It'll do its thing, and this will take, in the range of a few minutes. It shouldn't take too long, depending on the speed of your flash drive. This one is relatively fast, so it should not take long at all. But I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to come back when it is done. Okay, so I'm back. It's been, 12, 15 minutes. And when it's done, it'll look like this. You don't hit start again. You don't have to do anything. You can just close it. And then typically I don't do this because I really don't care, but you should safely eject your drive or whatever. So you'll have a USB drive with everything you need to boot into Hiren's boot CD. So that'll take us to the next part. Okay, so for this next part, I switched over to my phone camera rather than recording the screen on my computer, because we're going to have to turn off the computer for these next few steps, and this will allow us to boot into Hiren's boot CD. So you're going to have your fully, bootable USB drive right here. Before you turn off your computer, plug it in. I've done that many a times. Forget to plug it in, and then guess what? It ain't going to work. So you can close all your stuff, make sure everything's closed, make sure everything's saved. And then you're going to want to turn off your computer. Now shut it down. Do not restart it. Shut it down completely. So it'll go through its little thing, do its little jig. Take a few seconds. And I'm going to show you this whole step. So when you first turn on your computer, it's going to have... It's still turning on. It takes a second. It's going to have, a prompt that says, whoever the manufacturer is. And it'll give some at the bottom, typically, or off to the one of the sides. It'll say, hit F11 or delete in order to launch into the BIOS or boot options. So for mine, I'm lucky that it has an F11 for boot menu. So you're just going to hit F11 in my case. Yours will likely be different. And then open it up to a menu that'll look something like this. These are all going to look different. There is no way around that. They will look different. But just to give a basic breakdown, it's going to show everything that has storage attached to your computer. So for example, this very top one is my main Windows, where I have Windows installed. But the one you're going to want to select will likely be called, and actually it'll definitely be called UEFI something. In my case, it's SanDisk, partition 1. Yours could say, any number of things, but it will say UEFI, the name of usually the hard drive or the flash drive manufacturer. So you're going to want to hit enter. It will give a prompt, something looking like this. And it'll take, a few minutes. It shouldn't take too long to get into the Hiren's boot CD medium. So I'm going to pause the video until I need to show you out something else, because this is just basically an installation process. It just takes some time. I'll be right back. Once you boot into Hiren's boot CD, it'll look something like this. Actually, it should look exactly like this if everything goes, as planned. On the side right here, underneath the recycling bin, so I'm going to zoom in and show you. Underneath the recycling bin, there is a folder called Utilities. So open up the Utilities folder. Let me get this nice centered in the frame. Open up the Utilities folder, and it will look, oops, I just closed it. It'll look exactly like this. So when what we're looking for is called the hard disk tools. It's right under accessories for me. This could look different, but all you know is you're looking for hard disk tools. So click it. It'll open up in a sign like this. You're going to want to go to data recovery, and it will open up all these different options. So each of these do a different thing, but for most people, what they're looking to recover off their computer is going to be like text files or pictures. And this piece of software called PhotoRec right here with this eye looking deal is going to be the best man for the job. For that one, here I'm going to make this a little smaller so I can fit in the entirety of, you can see the entirety of the piece of software. So this is what it'll open to. It's going to look confusing, but that's what I'm here for. I'm going to break it down. So at the very top, it'll say, please select a media to recover from right here. So I have a lot of options. Yours, in all likelihood, will not look like this. It'll probably look, it'll probably just have the one. So in my case, I'm going to select this very top one. It's a hard drive, and it'll do its thing. So it'll then open up all of this thing down here. So what you're going to be looking for is, basically three things. It's going to have a number on the side here. It doesn't matter what number as long as it has a number. Under the flags column, it's going to say P. And then under your size, it is going to be the largest one. So MB is smaller than GB, so megabyte is smaller than gigabyte. So collect the one that has the highest number of gigabytes, because that's going to be the one where all of the files stored in your computer are going to be located. The other ones are basically for recovering Windows if something goes basically really wrong. So you're going to want to click on that, and at the bottom here, it's going to say, please select the destination to save the recorded files to. Well, in my case, I'm going to save them to the flash drive. You could save them to the same computer. You could save it to another hard drive in the computer, but I think for most people, saving them to the hard drive you installed, the flash drive you installed your Hiren's boot CD on is going to be the best option. It'll be the most easy to get everything off of it. So click on, it'll be called HB CD_P X64. Be the name of your flash drive now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit right click, hit new folder. I'm going to name the folder photos. You can name it whatever, it doesn't matter. I already have a folder's photo, so be right there. You're going to want to click on it. It will open up. It should be empty. This has already been used before, but you're going to hit select folder. It'll show up at the bottom as being called whatever you called it. And then you're going to want to hit the search button at the very bottom. So it'll open up a prompt like this, and this is reading every single section of your, whatever storage medium you connected to this piece of software. It's going to read the entire thing and is going to look for specific types of files. So in this case, it's mainly looking for photo files, but it also does, like documents and stuff. So if you have, Excel spreadsheets or Word documents, it's also looking for those. This is going to take a long time. It is a very lengthy process because it's going to, based on the size of the hard drive is how long it's going to take. So I'm not going to show that whole process. I just wanted to give a demonstration of what this will look like. When it's done, it will say this entire bar right here will be filled up, and this will be 100%, and it will move all of the files it found, assuming there's enough space for all the files that it found, onto whatever the destination for the storage was. So this is a very easy way to recover massive amounts of data in a relatively short period of time. Now, this entire process, if you're doing it by yourself, should really only take, maybe an hour. Even filming it only took about an hour. So it should not be a lengthy process. The most lengthy process is going to be waiting for this, but you don't have to touch it at all. You can, let it sit, and it'll do its thing. So once, whatever data recovery you're doing is done, you're going to want to exit it the same way you would exit any Windows 10 computer. So you're going to hit this button in the corner, the Start button. Click Shut Down, and it'll do its thing, basically. Oops, I gotta actually hit it this time. And it'll shut down. There it goes. So from now on out, if you want to get back into your regular install of whatever, you're going to want to unplug your flash drive. You're going to want to hit the power button on your computer. And it'll start up as normally would. So this flash drive now contains all of the files you're looking for, as well as the Hiren's boot CD. So that's not going to be an issue as long as it's not plugged in when you turn on your computer again. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how to recover the files onto a working computer or your new computer. So once you're back on your computer, you're going to want to take your flash drive with the data that you put on from PhotoRec, plug it into your computer. It'll do its thing, open up, and you're going to find the folder, in my case it's called Photos, where you sent all of the data from PhotoRec onto this flash drive. From there, you can simply copy it to your desktop. Now this will probably take a while. Again, it depends entirely on the speed of the flash drive. And since it's going to be probably a lot of data, it will take a lot of time. So once all that data has been transferred, you will have all of the folders and all of the pictures from your old computer onto your new one. And so the main issue with this is it's going to be kind of unorganized. What I would recommend doing is typing the names of what you found and all of that, and it'll show up. You can find it relatively easy. It will take some time, but what's more important is that everything is there and nothing will have been lost and nothing's going to be inconvenient to access. So once all that done, you will have successfully transferred data from an old computer using Hiren's boot CD onto your new computer.